Fox News alert, we are expecting a press conference in the next couple of minutes on the deadly Amtrak train derailment in Philly right now. Authorities just starting to piece together what may have gone wrong. That's at Temple University Hospital, where a number of the people were taken last night. So what could have caused the crash? Joining us right now is the former chairman of the NTSB and the CEO of the National Safety Council, Deborah Hersman. Deborah, I know it's early. It would all be speculation. So instead, let's focus on what the NTSB is going to do. What are you going to what is the NTSB going to focus on first?
You know, the daylight is really important to them, so they'll have an opportunity to really take a look at the scene, collect some perishable evidence, really do some documentation, and gather those really all-important recorders, both the event recorders and the video recorders that might be on board. Absolutely.
You know, there are some passengers on the train that said that there were announcements, up to 5 of them, saying that there was no air conditioning on the train due to electrical problems. Some of those comments are coming in. Is that something that this investigation will look at as well, whether an electrical problem could have been involved from the start?
Absolutely. There's electrification along the Northeast Corridor, and so they will be looking very closely at the power supply and any operation of the train, particularly things that might have been problematic on this car set.
Hey, Deborah, when you hear derailment, with all your years of experience, what are the thoughts it could be between operator error, between the mechanical, between track problems? What are some of the things we should be looking at?
You know, they'll look very closely at the human, the machine, and the environment. So when it comes to the human, it's the operator, how they were handling the train, the speeds that they were operating with, whether they were complying with the track warrants or the requirements at the time. The equipment is incredibly important. Looking at any defects or any problems, any mechanical issues, and the environment with the track. Huge when you're looking at derailments, to make sure that that track is in good condition. There's so much traffic that goes through this area every day.
Sure.
The good news is most of those trains have video on them, and they'll be able to see what those trains saw going through there.
Let me ask you this. We've talked to 2 people who were on the train, and they told the same story. As soon as it started going off the track and they made impact, people were flying throughout the train cars. Why don't American trains have seat belts? They've got seat belts on trains in Europe.
You know, this has long been a concern, and I think particularly when you look at the environment on trains, that they aren't required to restrain passengers, luggage, or even the surfaces on those trains. Sometimes in the cafe cars, you've got really hard areas, tray tables, lots of surfaces for people to impact with. And so you want to look at survivability and look at how people are able to weather not just a major derailment like this one, but also even a minor event.
Indeed. All right. Deborah Hersman, former chair of the NTSB, thank you very much for joining us today from D.C.
That's right.
All right. Coming up next, this crash is just the latest in a string of train accidents all across the country. Is there a problem with America's railways? Is the government capable of fixing this? The chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, Michael McCall of Texas, here live next.